Hey guys, Banker here from Attack on Productions. Today I, Bancroft, will be joined by Fluff.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Today we have I'm going to call it my Assassin Yamcha deck. You know, back in the old school Bandit days of Dragon Ball. Like, it goes there fast and hard and hopes it gets a kill. And you're playing your Vegito deck that you've recently built.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I haven't liked the deck that's not this consistent, but still fun in a long time.
So real quick, before we get into this duel, you've openly mentioned that you don't like leaders that don't draw on the front side.
Yes.
So you just built this because we got the new tech from the anniversary box and you wanted to kind of give it a shot, right?
Yeah, honestly, the first time that I joined in my first secret rare ever pull was the Vegito secret rare from set 2. And ever since then, I've always wanted to play the deck, and I've always wanted to try to make it work. The problem is, like you just said, the leader does not. So it's... I'll say this before we get into what's going on in the match. I love this deck. I think it's a ton of fun, but it is incredibly draw dependent. If you don't see the right stuff, there's a reason that I hate leaders that don't draw.
Which I guess it helps out with the way my Yamcha deck was kind of built. You did stop the main function of it, which was the crit element of it, which we'll see when we get into the duel. But I was still able to hit you with some nasty battle cards, to put it that way. So before we get into the duel, like always, hit the like, subscribe button if you haven't already. Put a comment down below everything you want to see as profile or potentially do. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, just put stuff down there. We're here. We'll communicate back. I'll try to reach out as much as possible.
Yep.
So this Yamcha deck, like I mentioned, it may be more efficient to run the Burnhan leader, truth be told, and you guys will see why as it goes.
Yeah, you and I tested this deck, and in testing, I was floored by how absolutely good this deck was.
I mean, turn 1, I was able to do, 6 points of damage to you?
Easily.
Yeah.
And then we're like, holy crap, if you combine that with Burnhan, then you're sitting on potentially 7 to 8 points damage in the first 2 turns. Like, it's just super good.
So, also, I want to point this out real quick because we're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video. I don't know why the camera moves so much while recording this, and so I do apologize why it jumps occasionally. Hopefully that doesn't bother you all too much. But, okay, let's go over these turns real quick because it's been quite a few turns. Turn 1, I played Baba. Turn 1, you played Energy.
Yes.
You do know this deck from testing, so you kind of had a way of protecting yourself against it, where I've actually never played against your Vegito decks. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I went to crit. I played Trunks, went to crit, and you after-imaged it, and it really hurt.
I knew that the best... Basically, I had to do anything I could to avoid taking undue damage from sources like Double Strike crit. I know if I get that off, you start to swarm. So I'm really fighting to do that. So like I knew I couldn't combo off that combo without losing key pieces from my hand. I knew by doing that I was going to be opening myself up to the Bardock, which is just more pressure because now if I activate a extra card or a counter skill, he just stands right back up.
So I'm over here debating about using Baba or not, and I realize I'm not going to be able to do as much damage as I want to this turn, so I might hang on to Baba as a more defensive play. If you swung to my leader.
Yeah, which wouldn't be a bad idea, truthfully.
Yeah. And I think I don't know, so that was the second time against the bar. Like I pulled him I'm not gonna come up with this. I don't know if I tease it here or not, if I'm gonna come up with my leader or not. But I'm not sure if I do or don't. Yeah. See, I do have the Unison already in my hand. No, I'm picking between the 2 cards with the keep. I think it's either Unison or it's another Baba, I think.
And so this is from the really early stages of the game. I believe this Vegito is I believe he's a draw 2, not a untap 2. So I comfortably let you get me down to 4.
Yeah.
And then I know that I'm in a really dangerous way. So I think you swung, you were considering the combo. Now I'm like, okay, I don't want to take this. I'll get the draw off the Awaken. You honestly helped me by letting me Awaken that early because now I have draw.
Yeah. Thinking back on it, maybe I should have just stopped after you killed my crit and just waited to go off on the next turn when I had more energy.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. making me waste resources. Like so the new Goku and Vegeta cards help this deck awaken. So it helps against decks that really want to slow roll this deck. But you kind of help that strategy by letting me awaken.
So I'm not sure what's happening in this given moment.
I think that I have to go.
Okay. I boosted by 5,000 by the leader's effect. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I had to combo hard, and so you're just going hard again. And now I know if you've got a Tau in hand and playing another one, like this is just a silly amount of board presence.
Yeah.
So I let you take me down to 2 because I'm like, okay, I've got to defend hard here. I've got to do something.
And so I think we did, without getting results, I wanted to see more testing with this Yamcha deck because what I realized on this turn, I only have 2 cards in my hand.
Yeah, you don't have a lot at all.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of counting on. I'm counting on you to go hard and then be put into a control situation as the duel goes on. So here I've awakened. I get my draws now. I can go hard on playing out, Vegitos if I want to, or I can just play passively. So I just want to relieve the pressure on your side of the field. So I got rid of one of the Kabbas. You're already awakened. There's not a whole lot of point in me putting pressure on the leader just yet when you have a ton of combo power on the field. And there's not a point in me playing a battle card that you're just going to neg out with 2 Babas on.
So I think right here, I didn't notice you have 2. I mean, you have 2 open energy. I should have thought about it. But you do Toppo me on my double strike swing. And I think I just passed turn. There's not much I can do at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, you didn't, that. And I knew, if you were going to try to take the Toppo challenge, you were going to have to discard a lot of cards in your hand, which then lets me really control the tempo moving forward.
Yeah. Do I play a Searcher? Yeah, I'm just trying to rebuild. I mean, it's a 1-for-1, but I think I'm looking for a Pacific card as well. If I recall correctly, I didn't see a Champa, I think, this entire game, or my Crit Frieza, which really, early game, that's what I want to see. I could have used a Champa on that Trunks if you didn't negate it. I could have used Frieza on the 1 Kaba instead, make it crit, but I didn't see those, unfortunately.
I think it was Tanner that once said, one of the struggles of playing that deck, of playing those cards, is it's like candy. Too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. If you you have to kind of just take those as they come and not rely on them as cards.
Did I go for it? Really? Oh, I did because I wanted to discard 2 cards.
Yeah.
One being a Yamcha.
In case it sets up your bunny girl play.
Yeah. I don't exactly know what happened there. Oh, you after image killed my Kaba.
Out of my life. Yep.
And then I combo with Baba, just get an extra card in my hand.
Yeah. But now but you don't have enough to swing again.
Yeah.
And that's my general hope, is to just try to I'm sitting on 1 life. If you draw the promo Goku, I'm dead. If you draw there's just a number of different cards that if you draw them, I'm dead. But I had to take that risk based on it's definitely knowledge of this deck.
Playing 17 to recur another Baba to boost my leader by another 5,000, make it harder for your hits again. That's right. That's also why I comboed the Baba off too. Yeah. Not only for the card advantage, but because I can use 17 and bring it back.
Yep. You knew you had that in hand, ready to go. So it was really it really behooved you to do that.
This really hurt a little bit though.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You're setting me up for my next play. Bunny Girl, and the Yamcha.
But now I just have to hope that I can combo out.
Yeah.
I think I had another Toppo in hand, and it was like, okay, I think I have a Toppo in hand, but I'm like, I really just want to try to just combo out of whatever it is that he's doing.
Yeah. So I chose not to charge. Which, thinking about it, I think I chose not to charge because I had nothing in my hand that required energy to combo with.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I gotta go this turn. He's tapped out. He can't do much from that point on. So I saw him later get the extra draw in my hand. I paid 3 here, and that's why I said I tapped out for the Unison.
Yep.
For those of you who aren't familiar with, Vegeta has the ability to -1 to allow a red battle card to attack an active card, if correct.
Yep.
So I swing Unison into your leader, negging your Toppo down to 15. Now both your Toppo and your Goku are both 15 each.
Yep.
And I mean, you chose a combo with Toppo, which is fine. I just wanted to be down to 15, you know? Because I'm going to swing into your Goku with Yamcha, which is currently 40. He gets plus 10,000. So it's 35. That makes him 40. And I remember, I think I had 2 more cards in my hand that I could have comboed with.
Yeah.
And
you made me combo really hard here.
Yeah. The reason why I didn't choose a combo with these cards was because I'm like, look, it's 40,000. He knows if he can't out combo this, it's gonna hurt him because then he gets another 10,000. I'm gonna swing into your leader, guaranteeing even a stronger hit. And looking back, I probably should have comboed those 2 extra cards off, but then you would have had that whole hand to hang on to.
Took combo on the object. I also know that I'm going to get to draw a lot this next turn coming up. So I'm just trying to take those licks as I can. Yeah, I had to combo a lot out, but I had to survive that turn. This turn coming up is such a pivotal turn for Vegito.
Yes.
So
there's such a pivotal misplay on my part coming up too, and I'll explain that in a second.
Like, it's just like turn 4 is probably the most important turn for Vegeta. Like, it kind of is the determinant as to whether you win or you lose.
So you're getting those draws you need.
I think I put 2 Vegitos. For some reason, every time we tested Yamcha versus Vegito, I ended up with all the Vegitos that I play in my deck. And I'm not talking about like the Resolve combined. I'm talking about like the big 7 drops and 10 drops. Like, they were just all in my hand at every given moment. I was like, this sucks. So I had Koitsukai to get them back in the deck so I could turn on the later.
So you swung with lead. I chose not to do blocker because I forgot that a certain card has triple attack.
Yep.
And I was like,
and removes the card.
I forgot all about that. I'm like, I'm safe. He's gonna bring out his big boy. I'm just gonna blocker it. Yes, I'm pretty much foreshadowing that Fluff plays a Vegito card that kills my blocker.
So this is why. So this right here is why this leader is tolerable. So Polymorphic Potara for 1 energy lets you play a Goku and a Vegeta out of the deck. But then the Resolve Combined is a free EX Evolve that lets you draw 2. So you're basically replacing the 2 cards that were in your hand to get your plays going. Then it's only 2 energy to go into a 7 drop. Now, theoretically, with setup, you can set up on turn 2, go into a big Vegito on turn 3. Maybe even go into a big Vegito on turn 2 with a Sensu Bean if you're not playing a crazy aggro deck like Yamcha. But it is a crazy aggro deck like Yamcha that we're playing here. So I had to wait until turn 4 just to to make sure that I survive. But it's a ton of value getting 2 draws off this. And then if I immediately decide to go into the big Vegito, I will get 2 draws off of that as well if I decide to go into Hyper.
So, as we're wrapping up this video with the minute and a half rough mark left of this actual duel, I see everything flashing in front of me. I'm like, okay, he's gonna swing, I'm gonna block her, and you pull out this bad boy in a second.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What do you mean it kills a card?
Also, for my rarity purposes, I want to get the repeated repeated force Vegito, the red one from set 2. I want to get an SPR of that just to fill out the shiny in the deck. I've got the SPR of Hyper Rush, just to make me happy. I think I've been kind of on a quest of hollowing this deck out because I genuinely do enjoy this.
Oh, I did have a +1 combo with. So why did I tap out? I wonder. Maybe I thought. I don't know why I tapped out.
+1 for a 5,000 is not a good combo.
Yeah, but I could have used it.
So basically, I swung. You didn't have enough in your hand to combo off.
Yeah.
And I had
right there.
I had a ton to combo in there.
Yeah. And I think right there, I point out, I was like, you won because of freaking Toppo. Having that Toppo was so good. I think you said you even mulliganed for that going against this deck.
Toppo is probably the reason that I consider red to be really good. SS Blue and Exploiting Weakness Vegeta would be the next two, with After Image being probably fourth in that line. After Image is good for the Yamcha style where you don't want to go late game, but red has so much good field control right now that people are really sleeping on how even with a bad leader, you can be really good with red.
Yeah. And so just kind of go over real quick. We did do 2 more games with these 2 decks. In the second game, I did the same. I was like, okay, I just want to see again. Maybe it was just a fluke. Once again, pressure. You got Toppo off and still managed to win in the end. And that hurt a lot. So in our third match, I'm like, okay, now knowing what I'm playing against, let me slow it down and see if I can work around it. And I can't remember if I won that third round or not, or if you still got it. But it was almost like a headache for me. I'm like, I have to play a super aggro deck.
Slow. Yeah. It makes you play really different. And if you and that's it again, Vegito is not a consistent engine. I say it goes off maybe 80% of the time. Yeah. And that's not really good odds when you look at decks like Vegex that go off 100% of the time. I've never seen you brick with Yamcha. I've never seen a number of different decks brick. Vegito can brick hard. Yeah. Where it just doesn't move. It has no forward movement. And the Gokus and Vegetas that you run are so nickel and dimey that they're so easy to get off the field. Neg 10 gets rid of any of them.
That being said, that is our duel today. Fluff will have that Vegito deck up sometime later this week. I will be also putting up my AOD clip later this week. And expect, we finally had a chance to do our set 10 championship. So we'll have 2 deck profiles from that. And then we'll have the 3 duels that actually took place during that event. So look forward to that. Once again, thank you all for tuning in, checking us out. Hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't already. And like always, if you want to lead us out, Fluff.
Of course. As always, read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.